guys, in this next news story, two brothers who blamed each other for killing a man in Torquay last year have both been jailed for manslaughter. Ben and Jack Milton fatally attacked and stabbed Aaron Parrington, who's 34 years old, outside their home during a fight. The violence stemmed from the theft of a handbag, which Aaron believed Ben Milton was responsible for. Aaron went to the brothers' home on the 17th of September 2023 after a fight had been agreed, but Ben Milton didn't show up. Aaron rang him and made threats before kicking at their front door. The brothers took a large kitchen knife and wooden curtain pole and attacked Aaron in the street. He sustained multiple stab wounds, and despite the efforts of members of the public and emergency services, he died at the scene. Both brothers were arrested and taken into police custody, where they denied inflicting the wounds, blaming each other. However, they were later charged with joint enterprise murder. However, following a 3-week trial at Exeter Crown Court, a jury found the brothers guilty of manslaughter, but not guilty of murder. Ben Milton was sentenced to 14 years in prison, and Jack Milton was sentenced to 15 years. The court heard that in August 2023, a local man had a bag stolen and Ben Milton was suspected to be responsible. On the day of the incident, Ben Milton saw the male in Torquay town centre and they agreed to fight it out in a local car park. When they went their separate ways and the male returned with Aaron Parrington a short time later, they walked around the town looking for Ben Milton, but he had gone home. Witnesses told the court they had seen Aaron on the phone making threats as he walked through the town before he made his way to the Miltons' home and started to try and kick the door down. The brothers, who were in an alleyway near to the house, attacked Aaron from behind and a fight broke out in the street. Members of the public, on hearing the disorder, began to separate the men and gave first aid to Aaron. Officers arrived and arrested the brothers on suspicion of attempted murder, and they were taken to Torquay police station, where they were further arrested on suspicion of murder when Aaron's death was confirmed. Ben Milton told officers that Aaron had attacked him with a knife first, but later admitted that he had lied in order to protect Jack because he was the one who had been in possession of a knife. Jack then refuted his brother's claims, claiming in an interview that it was Ben who had the knife and had fought Aaron, so basically they were grassing each other up. Senior investigating officer, Detective Inspector Ilona Rosson, said the violence used by Ben and Jack Milton exceeded self-defense and resulted in the death of Aaron Parrington. Throughout this case, they have continued to blame each other, taking no responsibility for their actions and arrogantly denying their roles. On the evidence shown to the court, the jury found them both culpable of killing Aaron. This is sadly another example of the devastating damage that using a knife can cause and that no good can come from it. I thank the family of Aaron Parrington for their support of our investigation, and I commend the strength they have shown throughout this case. In a personal victim impact statement read to the court, Aaron's mum said the family are now living a real-life tragedy and described her son as a devoted father and a friend to many people. She said, when we think of Aaron, almost every moment of every day, but the mornings are the worst because you wake up and for a split second everything is okay. Then reality kicks in, it hits you, and it's like Aaron has died all over again. We had 2 children and now we have 1. We must get used to a future without Aaron in it, which until now we haven't been able to because it's too painful. Now if we want to be near our son, we must go to his graveside in the cemetery and look at a headstone where we sit and talk to him, we cry and tell him we love him and miss him, and we always will. Following sentencing, the family thanked friends and family for their continued support and said our apologies go to the people whose homes overlooked to where Aaron died, as it must have been a very distressing and frightening scene, especially those first on the scene who tried to help Aaron. Thank you to the people who were driving past and stopped to administer first aid, who ignored the direct threats to their own lives and continued assisting Aaron. You should all be proud of yourselves. You guys are heroes, and we know you all did everything you could, and we hope this gives you some peace. So I just want to say rest in peace, Aaron, and my condolences go out to your family. Another news story. A mother who beat her 3-year-old son with a bamboo cane after claiming the Bible advised the use of a rod weeks before she murdered him has been jailed for life with a minimum term of 25 years. Christina Robinson is 30, had exposed her son to cruelty and excruciating pain over several weeks before she shook him to death at the family home in Durham in November 2022. Mr. Justice Garnham said she was guilty of a gross abuse of trust as the victim's mother. A trial at Newcastle Crown Court heard Robinson had deliberately immersed him in scalding water, causing severe burns that left him in agony. She did not seek medical help as safeguarding concerns would have been obvious if a health worker saw him. Robinson admitted hitting the boy with the bamboo cane but claimed she was just following the Bible scriptures which advised the use of a rod for the correction of children. The defendant and the mother of two at the time was convicted of murder and 4 child cruelty charge which happened at the family home following a trial in March. Robinson repeatedly left the children at home alone while she conducted an affair while her husband was away serving with the RAF. Mr. Justice Garden found that Robinson immersed her son in extremely hot water which caused burns to his lower limbs which affected 20% of his body after the boy had soiled himself. The judge told her, You must have known the water was extremely hot. It must have been obvious. Despite the excruciating pain her son must have suffered in the days that followed, Robinson saw fit to cause further injury by beating him with a cane. The judge said, You were a follower of a religious group and would listen to lectures or sermons from the group speakers on YouTube. Mistakenly, you subsequently admitted what was the case. You took the teaching of that group to indicate it was appropriate to punish your children. He added these beatings were all administered as punishment for behaviour that was objectively trivial, but which you considered worthy of severe punishment. What the boy must have gone through beating with a cane by his mother despite these terrible burns does not bear thinking about. All this happened when the little boy's father was several hundred miles away at the RAF base near Aylesbury in Buckinghamshire. The judge accepted that when she shook the little boy, causing fatal brain injuries, she did not intend to kill him. He also rejected claims that she was motivated by sadism, saying there was no evidence she took pleasure from inflicting pain. But the judge said a mistreatment of her son in the last weeks of her son's life was appalling of the highest degree. This was reflected in messages she sent to her boyfriend saying the little boy deserved a major ass kicking, that he's old enough to know better so he'll pay, and that he'll get what he deserves, no more, no less. Robinson represented herself and continued to deny killing her son, saying, I pray for the day when justice will be served. 10 of the 12 jurors attending the sentencing, with one of them staring at the defendant intensely throughout the hearing. Outside court, Detective Chief Inspector Simon Turner said the little boy was a defenceless little boy who had his life ahead of him, but this was cruelly taken away by his own mother, someone he should have been able to trust, someone who should have cared about him. So guys, there's a number of stories coming out from the streets of the UK. Once again, if you already haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. Please give this video a little like, as it will help with algorithms and promote it to others to view and watch as well. Once again, big respect going out to each and every one of you. It's your boy GC. Keep it locked, keep it real.